Recently, a member of my recording school asked me if this Enya Inspire guitar was a serious instrument or just a gimmicky thing that was cool because it had a built-in speaker and effects. So I decided the best way to answer that was to do something I haven't done in over a year. That's right, it's time for a proper gear battle. Alright, in this hand, I've got a Schecter Diamond Series guitar that we added bare knuckle pickups to. The price tag for this is about $850 new. You can get them used for around $400, and the pickups were like $350 themselves. In this hand, I have an Enya Inspire guitar that costs under $600. Now, the reason I'm comparing guitars that are in price categories that are a little bit different is because they're both being used by my band, Answer Infinity, for one specific song during our live set where I'm using a half-flat tuning. They have the same purpose, they're getting used and abused at live shows, and they're flat out being asked to do the same thing. Okay, enough about why, let's just get right to it. I'm going to compare them in three categories: playability, reliability, and sound. When we get to the sound part, I'll show you the whole side-by-side song you saw a clip of in the intro there. So we're going to look at playability first now, and I've done a slight wardrobe change here because I think it's maybe a little obnoxious to wear your own merch on a video. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, if you've been to this channel before, or maybe you can kind of see the guitars I have behind me here, I'm a big fan of the type of guitar that's really easy to play. I like it to be able to bend very easily and not put a lot of effort down on the strings. I'm more of a precision player than a power player, I guess you could say, so I'm not looking to really dig into the strings hard. When I play a rhythm, I play with a lighter touch. That said, with the Schecter here, I find that, especially at the price point that it's at, it plays pretty darn easily. I don't feel like I'm fighting against it. Other guitars that are in and around this range, maybe a little less expensive even, you can feel like you're really fighting against it, or you're getting a lot of buzz if you don't have the action too high. And I can play this like a shredder and be pretty happy with it. Now, let's rip into a basic scale. The vibrato, the bends, pressing down on the strings as I go through a scale like that are all very easy. So I feel like for the price, the playability in this guitar is quite good. Also, access up to the higher frets here. The cutaway on the Schecter is done really well. I can get all the way up to the 24th and do vibrato in there and get most of my hand in there and feel very comfortable with that. Let's look at the Enya now, and then I'll do like a final score for the playability section. Going into this video, I thought that of the three categories, that playability was going to be the area where they are the closest together. And I'm glad. It's really nice when I do these videos that I get to play them right back to back like that and really have a feel for the comparison. Whereas, you know, you play a song, you do something else, you come back, you switch guitars maybe on a different day, you don't necessarily notice it as drastically as I did now. And what I can say about the Enya is that it's even more playable than the Schecter, and that surprised me. I hadn't really given it a lot of thought as I've been using it over the months and months and playing gigs with it. When I grab it and play that same run, right away I can feel the difference. Even though the Schecter plays well, doing it right back to back like that, I can feel how much easier this is to play, especially with the bends. I have to say, from that aspect, this is playing like a guitar 3, 4, maybe even 5 times the cost. The only place where I'd say I might like the Schecter better is just right up here. When I go up to the very highest part of the guitar, the heel over here is a little bit further up, so I have to kind of scrunch my hand a little bit more. But I'm not talking about like the kind of thing where you'd say it's uncomfortable and unplayable. It's just that right back to back like that, you notice it. All in all, this definitely has the butter factor. Let's do the final verdict. As far as the playability goes, the Enya guitar, for my taste, for having that kind of ease of play and a buttery shredder kind of thing, it definitely fits that bill more. If you're a heavy-handed rhythm player and you want to have more of that resistance and you can dig into it more without having the strings bend on you, I would say that the Schecter with the hardtail like that is a better option. But for my style, definitely the Enya is a better playing guitar. On the reliability aspect of this comparison, I knew going into this that this was going to be the most stark difference between the two guitars. And when we talk about reliability, we're talking about construction, how well it's put together, how good the tuners are, whether it stays in tune, whether it bends up easily over time as far as the neck wood and everything goes, whether the switching and the pots for the volume and tone stay clean, or they're constantly giving problems. So from a tuning stability standpoint, The Schecter holds up well. You've got the hardtail here. You're not dealing with a floating bridge or anything that tends to make them go out of tune more. The intonation's good. As I go up the neck, I don't have problems. It's not the kind of guitar where you put it down and you pick it up a week later and it's all out of tune. The tuners are pretty good as far as accuracy and tightness goes. When you loosen them back, you get a little bit of wobble in them, but it's not bad at all. As far as the knobs go, this is where, now I've got this Schecter here and I have another one that I've done a review on. Both have seen some live use, especially this one with AJ. Both Schecter guitars run into the same problem that you're going to see here. I've got the bridge, I've got the middle, then I've got the neck. It's not quite there. You have to fiddle with it. It's not working. The same exact thing happened on the other Schecter, where I can't get all of the pickup selections out of it. So if it was just one guitar, I might think it was a lemon, but I've had it on two Schecters now, and they're both getting a bunch of live use and abuse, but that's really what we're comparing here is like extreme situations where you're using these things in various atmospheric conditions and whatnot. And I'd say, you know, it's a bit of a problem with these. I don't know if every Schecter has it, but I'm 2 for 2. When we talk about the reliability of the instrument, this guitar has a really unfair advantage. The Enya guitar is made of carbon fiber, so I can take it from an air-conditioned studio here, walk out into 100-degree humid weather, go play by a pool with my friends, with a speaker here especially, and go back into the air conditioning, go through the winter, leave it in the car, whatever it is, and there's no bending, there's no flexing because it's not wood. Now I know that aspect might really kind of annoy some of my guitar purist friends out there, but when it comes to having a stage guitar that I can take on the road and it'll be in tune no matter what, and I don't have to do adjustments to it, and it can get banged around and knock into things and not have a piece of it break off, you can't beat it. I haven't had to have a setup done on this at all since after I got it. Now, as far as the tuning pegs go, there's not locking tuners on this, but I would say that you don't have any play in them. They're good, tight, high-quality tuners. I haven't had any problems. As far as the electronics go, this is kind of cool. This little knob here that I use for the volume. It's a little bit recessed because it's part of the whole electronic setup of it, and that's a different topic. I have a review of that aspect of the guitar, which I'll link here. But as far as for stage and studio goes here and using it as a regular guitar instrument, I've had no problems with any kind of dirtiness in the pot. I don't know if it's just a digital pot or if it's an actual mechanical pot underneath there, but it's really, really clean. And as far as the switching goes, this gets used and abused on stage, and I've had no dirtiness or any problems with it. And when you think about the aspects of the construction that have to do with the quality of getting sustain out of the instrument, works really well. We've got a song where I hold a note for, it's got to be, I think it's 16 measures, where I come in and out and get some feedback on it, and it's always performed really well. So yeah, I think you know what the answer is going to be, but let's do the final comparison. This one is easy. As far as reliability goes, hands down, it's the Enya. As I already said, with the carbon fiber body, you can just do so much more with it without having it bend out of tune or having any neck problems. The hardware is really good. The tuners are great. The volume knobs and the switching for the pickups, all of it's clean and sturdy and has held up well under the beating of going live. Okay, before I do kind of a naked comparison here, let me show you them both back to back in a mix in a professionally recorded song. get through a kind of edge of breakup sound here to really get the feel for the pickup sounds. Now, it's a little bit, I guess you could say, unfair. This guitar is kind of a one-trick pony. You're using it for rhythm metal type of sounds, especially with these bare knuckle pickups in it. It came with EMGs. The other Schecter I have also has the built-in EMGs. We found that the stock ones were kind of mushy. That's why my bandmate replaced these with the bare knuckles. But, let's take a look at it because the sound comparison is also about versatility. So on the bridge pickup here, I've only got the one other option to switch to because of the electronic problem. So again, not a lot of options here, but we are comparing guitars that are having the same use case. Let's move on to the Enya. All right, as I already said, there's a lot more options with this guitar, especially when we're doing an edge of breakup type of thing like this. I'm just going to go through the 5 different settings and play along with it so you can hear them all just for a moment. Nice round tone there. So as far as the versatility goes, there are a lot of great sounds here. Just looking at it, outside of comparing it to anything else, I love the number of different tones that I can get out of a guitar that I got more for the reliability aspect of it, and getting the sounds that I get out of it was a pleasant surprise. And finally, as far as sounds go, I'm a big fan of having a lot of versatility in a guitar, and I think the Enya guitar with the 5-way switch and the humbucker and the bridge and then the 2 single coils gives me a lot of options and a lot of sonic options. Although I will say, and as you hear in the example song, when I get to the rhythm part, if you're doing like a real heavy modern metal kind of rhythm, the bare knuckle pickups that we put into the Schecter are really strong. The pickups that come with it, they're a little bit muddy, but with those bare knuckles in it, it's really nice. But as far as the overall picture goes, I definitely go with the Enya because of the versatility. There you have it, guys. The Enya was the clear winner of the battle, and this was a very different gear battle than I usually do because rather than comparing very similar guitars, I was comparing guitars that we use for the same purposes in my band and that are in a similar price range. Now, obviously, as I had said before, Enya sent me this guitar, but when I do these reviews, if I don't like something or it's not, the people who sent me the instrument or the equipment are not going to be happy, I generally end up just sending that back rather than doing a real negative review. And so a video like this would have never been made if something that was sent to me was not up to par. That said, I did work out a deal with the Enya guys to get a discount on anything in their store, one of these guitars or any one of the other ones of their guitars, for members of my Recording for the Rest of Us community, which is a place where you can go to get lessons on how to do pro-level recordings on a budget at home. And we have discounts on various different types of things that you might want, but Enya gave us a very generous one that I'll put up on screen here. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I always get back to everyone as soon as I can. And until next time, guys, keep making great music.